Hi there. Today's question is straightforward but profound. Is the world order really shifting? Let's begin by acknowledging what many informed observers at Davos 2026 are now saying. We are not living through a gentle transformation of global politics. We are witnessing a rupture in the structure of international relations. This rupture is not a blip. It is not a temporary disturbance. It is not another chapter in the old story. It is, as Prime Minister Mark Carney put it, a clear break from a world order that many once took for granted. What was the old world order? For decades, scholars and policymakers spoke of a rules-based international order rooted in the post-Cold War stability, collective security, open trade, and also multilateral institutions. Under this framework, global governance rested on the assumption that powerful states respect agreed rules. Economic integration delivers mutual benefits. Institutions like the UN, WTO, NATO are central, and that disputes are better managed collectively than unilaterally. This wasn't a perfect system, of course. We knew that powerful states often bent rules when convenient, but for a long time, that system was not only dominant, it was stable. And what has changed then? According to Carney and echoed by many analysts at Davos, the key shift is this: the world is moving into an era where geopolitics is unconstrained by old rules and where great powers increasingly weaponize economic and strategic tools. That's a significant claim. Here is how Carney framed it. He mentioned that we are living in an era of great power rivalry, where the strong can do what they can and the weak suffer what they must. This aphorism, drawn from Thucydides, is a stark reminder that realpolitik is resurfacing in global affairs. And there are several concrete trends on that account. The first one is economic integration being used as leverage, not as cooperation. I mean, tariffs and trade barriers no longer simply manage commerce, they are tools of coercion. And the second one, supply chains becoming vulnerabilities. States now weave them as strategic levers rather than mutual gains. And also, third one, financial infrastructure serving power politics rather than purely global stability. And these developments are not abstract; they are affecting policy decisions and alliances, not just rhetoric. And this is where precise language matters. Carney insists we are not in a transition, but a rupture. A transition implies adaptation within existing structures. A rupture implies that those structures themselves are breaking. And think of it in this way: a collapse of confidence in the institutions that once governed state behavior is not adjustment, it is reconfiguration. And this distinction is pivotal. And why does this matter? Because if we are indeed in a rupture, then the old assumptions, such as rules will constrain power, no longer hold. That has implications for security alliances, economic diplomacy, trade agreements, and climate cooperation, institutional legitimacy. And core to this rupture is the questioning of American hegemony, the leadership the leadership role the United States has played in sustaining the rules-based order. Um, One possible outcome is a world where each major actor prioritizes unilateral advantage over collective rules. In such a world, policies become transactional, multilateral norms erode, and strategic autonomy becomes the watchword. But Carney argues that this fragmentic dynamic is not inevitable, and that middle powers can shape a new order. And he suggests that countries like Canada and other middle powers have agency in this new environment. Rather than simply retreating behind walls of sovereignty, Middle powers must, first of all, recognize the rupture honestly, and the second one, build resilience at home, and thirdly, engage in pragmatic cooperation where interests align, and fourthly, form coalitions on specific issues with shared values, and that this is not nostalgia. This is not nostalgia for the old order. This is a strategy for a new world order. Here is the analytical bottom line. Yes, not in gentle evolution, but in a way that challenges the foundational assumptions of the post-Cold War era. We are witnessing reassertion of great power competition, a decreasing constraining effect of multilateral rules, and a reconceptualization of cooperation. And this is not a return to 19th century balance of power politics. It's something more intricate, a multidimensional contest among authority, norms, and interests. And and also what comes next? The answer is not predetermined. If middle powers invest in shared resilience and coalitional cooperation, a new order based on pragmatic multilateralism and values aligned networks can emerge. If not, the world risks fragmentation into spheres of influence dominated by unilateral power. Our task, both as analysts and as citizens, is to understand that the world order is not automatically assured. It must be actively shaped. And that brings us back to our original question. Yes, the world order is shifting, but whether that shift leads to greater cooperation or deeper division is a question that we must answer collectively. Thank you for listening.